We are back on the field at Nissan Stadium. I am joined by Joel A. Erickson of the Indy Star. We had totally different reads on the Joe Flacco situation, by the way. I saw him out there. I was like, he's a veteran quarterback. Of course, he's going to be first on the field. But no, Anthony Richardson, what you said, I think that's a good thing. He's the emergency quarterback today. So how important, what do you think Joe Flacco is going to need to do to affect this game?
Yeah, it's surprising a little bit because last week when Richardson wasn't going to play kind of from the beginning, he was out here doing an extensive throwing workout. That's kind of what I was thinking. Alexa, obviously, you were right on it, knowing that he wasn't going to play. With Flacco, this is going to be a Titans defense that's a much better secondary than the one they faced last week in Jacksonville. I think they need to get the ball downfield earlier. I would expect them to play over the top on Alec Pierce, but if it's just one guy, if it's just a safety, I don't care if he's over the top. You got to take a couple of those shots down the field, try to push them back.
You talk about Alec Pierce and how effective he's been with Joe Flacco, but two guys who were on their injury report earlier this week, not on it now. Josh Downs, Michael Pittman Jr. How helpful is that to get them, in this game, working with Flacco as they try to get over this hump?
Well, it's huge because those are the two guys that he can trust to be in the right spot on short routes. We've seen some inconsistency with A.D. Mitchell. It's hard to know. I think sometimes the quarterbacks have had trouble knowing exactly where he's going to be, if he's going to finish the route the right way. He kind of said this week, sometimes he puts a little too much sauce on his routes that ends up putting him in places that he's not supposed to be. Pittman and Downs are not that way. Pittman and Downs are guys who are going to be in the right spot when they expect him to be. Pittman is going to be one to watch because my understanding is that his back injury, the one that was reported earlier this week, nothing changed on that other than Pittman feels like he can play through it. That suggests that maybe it could get worse. He's going to be one to watch as he tries to play through this.
Jonathan Taylor not playing this one. We knew that was already coming back on Friday, but you have the running back by committee with Sermon and Goodson, as well as everything that Joe Flacco can do. The Titans defense has allowed the fewest yards per game. So how important is it to have that fully dynamic offense moving, working? What do you think they're going to need to do to be able to come away with the win?
Well, the running backs need to be much better than they were last week because this Titans defense is very, very good against the pass. They're number one against the pass, number one overall, but they're number one against the pass. They're more around like 10th or 15th in rushing. We didn't see a lot from Trey Sermon and Tyler Goodson last week other than on a couple of draw plays, schemed up type things. Either Shane Steichen's going to have to be in his bag a little bit against his old buddy Denard Wilson, or those guys are just going to have to play better. Taylor creates so much with the way he sets up blocks, with the way he darts in and out. We haven't seen that as much from them. I kind of want to see Tyler Goodson a little bit more than we saw him early last week, just because his speed gives you something that Sermon does not.
Let's take it to the other side of the ball now. The defense not at full strength just quite yet, but they do get a lot of guys back with Kenny Moore and Kwity Paye. What do they need to do to be able to be the change in this one?
Well, I think getting Kenny Moore back is huge. They're so inconsistent in cornerback. He hasn't been there the last 2 weeks. He's the one veteran. He's the one proven commodity at that cornerback position that they have. Getting him back, whether it's outside or in the slot, is a huge deal. And then with Kwity Paye, they just been running out of defensive ends. Taekwon Lewis is down, Samson Ebukam is down. Last week, Laiatu had to play a ton of snaps, way more than they want to. Same thing with Odengbo. Getting payback helps to just keep everybody's snaps down and keep everybody a little fresher. It's windy, but it's a little bit hot out here, and I think that's probably going to play into the defensive line.
Joel, real quick, give me your keys to the game this one.
Yeah, the number one key to the game, capitalize on Levis' mistakes because he's going to make them. He's turned the ball over 9 times. He's been sacked 15 times. You're going to have chances to make big plays. Another reason it's good to have Kenny Moore because he's a guy who makes interceptions. Number 2, collapse the pocket. They've given up 15 sacks. Specifically, they've struggled at their tackle positions, specifically the right tackle where Nicholas Petit-Frere has given up 3. That's Kwity Paye. Kwity Paye's on that side, Laiatu as he's moving around. Those guys need to have a big game. And then the last one is they need to complete the short stuff. You don't really worry about Flacco completing the short stuff, but I think it's more important in this game because I'm not really expecting a ton out of the running game without Jonathan Taylor. So you need to use those short passes as an extension of the running game, get you into 3rd and shorts or 2nd and shorts, and take those shots to Pierce.
Joel A. Erickson of the Indy Star, check out his work there. We'll be right back in the Blue Zone.